Good morning, girls. In today's session, we are going to discuss about C++ stream classes, unformatted and formatted input-output functions, and file input-output basics. Let us see what is a stream. Here, stream means a collection of characters that are transferred from input-output devices to program. So here we have few basic stream classes available in C++ library. These stream classes are used to perform input operations, output operations, file operations, etc. The main header file for these operations is iostream.h. And you know that all of you are including iostream header file by using #include statement in your programs. The purpose of that #include statement is to link the iostream header file. So this iostream header file contains the input and output operations. Now let us see the hierarchy of the stream classes. So here, for all these stream classes, the main base class is iOS class. You can see it in the figure, iOS class. iOS class is extended into three classes, that is iStream, OStream and StreamBuff. iStream represents input stream, OStream represents output stream, and StreamBuff is stream buffer class. So the iStream performs input functions, OStream performs output functions. Now iOStream class is inherited from iStream and OStream. That means iOStream class can perform both input operations as well as output operations. And if you have seen this, the last session we have discussed about diamond problem, which will acquire in multiple inheritance. So here the copy of iOS can be derived in two ways. One is through iStream, second one is through OStream. So instead of getting two copies, if we declare, if you can see the syntax here, you can see the syntax. When iStream class is derived from iOS, we made it as virtual base class. And even for OStream, when we are deriving from iOS OStream, that also we have declared iOS as the virtual base. Virtual in the sense only one copy. When we made this as iOS as the virtual base class, only one copy will be inherited to the child classes. So in this way we can reduce our diamond problem. So this is in the syntax we made that as virtual base class. Now all of you know that iOS is a base for all the three classes, and iStream performs input functions and input related operations, OStream performs output related operations, and iOStream represents both input and output related operations. Now let us see. There are generally in iStream class they will have the operations for reading a group of characters, strings or objects. So here the functions are getLine, get, read, etc. And OStream, that is output stream class, provides functions for handling printing of characters, strings, objects, etc. For that we use functions like put, write, etc. Now here if you see in this example we have used write function. Write function belongs to OStream. So when we are calling the write function of OStream class, we need an output stream object. So here cout is the output stream object. This write function will write the string given, and here 5 is nothing but the number of characters. In the next slides I'm going to explain these functions. This is just an example. So here 5 represents number of characters in the string. What is the string here? Hello everyone. In that string, first 5 characters will be displayed. First 5 characters means HELLO, hello. So in the output you can see, okay, so that is write function. When we are using output stream functions, OStream functions like write, put, so then we require output stream object. And when we are reading, when we are using iStream functions like get line, read, then we require input stream object. So now let us come to the unformatted input operations. Then we will see what are the here we are going to discuss 3 operations. One is get function, second one is get line function, and third one is cin. Cin, I think all of you know the purpose of cin statement. A cin statement generally it is used to read data from keyboard. Third one is cin method. We are going to see how the cin statement works. So first, get method. The purpose of get method is used to read a character from the keyboard, and here is the syntax cin.get. This get method can be used in 2 ways. This is one syntax, character c equal to cin.get. When this statement is executed, it reads one character from the keyboard and assigns it to c. The second, you can write this one as like cin dot get of c, like that also we can write. Instead of assigning, we can take it as an argument. So there are 2 ways of get method. Next one is get line method. The purpose of get line method is to read a line of text from keyboard. So here we are going to specify character array and the size. In the get line method we need 2 arguments. One is the character array and second one is the size, how many number of characters we are going to take. So that is get line method. Next, cin statement. In the cin statement, this all of you know that it is a read statement in C++, which is used to read a variable, a character, a string, etc. So here cin double greater than, the syntax here if you can see, cin double greater than variable name will give. So double greater than, that double greater than is the extraction operator. Extraction operator in the sense what it will do is, whatever the value we are giving to the keyboard is extracted and assigned to the variable. That is a work of cin statement. So these are unformatted input operations. Now let us see the examples. In this we have used 2 functions in the example. One is get line function and second one is get function. So in the first example, let us concentrate on the first example. In the first example, we are reading a name from the keyboard by using get line function. So here c is the variable given and the size is 10. I have declared a character array with the name c and size 10. So here we have given cin dot get line. Get line is a method of iStream class. So we require an input stream object, and here cin is the input stream object. So cin dot get line in the brackets c comma 10. So whatever the line of text we are reading, it should not be greater than 10 characters. It accepts only 10 characters and the text is assigned to c. And then by using cout statement, I have printed the value of c. So whatever the text I am reading from the keyboard, by using getLine, I have printed by using cout statement. Now the second example where I am using 2 functions, one is get and second one is put. Get is input stream function, put is output stream function. both get is used to read a character. GetLine, collection of characters. GetLine method is used to read a line of text or a collection of characters. But whereas get method is used to read only one character from the keyboard. And put method is used to print that character on the monitor. So here get is input stream. So we require an object for input stream, that is cin, and put method belongs to output stream. So we require a method representing output stream, that is cout. So I think you understood these examples. In this we have used getLine and put. So in this in the second example I have declared a character x, and I have read the character by using get method, and I have printed the character by using put method. Now next, unformatted output functions. In this unformatted output functions, we are going to learn about put method, write method, and cout statement. Put method. Put method is used to print a character on the monitor screen or monitor. And in the previous example we have seen how to use put method. So here the syntax comes like this: cout, that is cout is the output stream object, dot put, in the brackets will give variable or character to be displayed. You can give a constant also instead of variable name. So next is write, where write is used to display n number of characters, that is collection of characters on the monitor. So what it will do is similarly like getLine method. getLine method reads a line of text. Write method displays that line of text. In the first example we have seen write method. When I am using write method, I have to use output stream object cout. And here you have seen cout dot write, in the brackets I have given x comma 2, where x is a character array, and 2 is the size. So it prints 2 characters from the string x. Now cout statement. The cout statement, all of you know, till now we are using cin and cout. The purpose of cin is for reading from the keyboard, and cout is to print the data on the screen. Now in this cout double less than, then message I have given, and string. So here in this double less than is the insertion operator. Insertion operator means what it will do is, whatever the message is there, it is inserted and printed on the screen. So here if you can see, getLine and write methods we have used. We have taken a variable character array called C of size 10, and we are reading that by using getLine method, and we are printing by using write method. So whatever the value taken by the getLine method is printed by using the write method. Cin is a object for iStream, and cout is a object for output stream. Now so these are unformatted input output. Now let us see formatted input output operations. Formatting. So generally when we say formatting comes when we are printing the data on the screen. So here we are going to see width, fill, and precision. Okay, so here width function is used to set a width to the output. Fill function, that is set fill is the function name. Set w is the width. So set fill function will display a character, and precision function will display the floating point of the output. So here let us discuss about the width, setting the width. And in this example I'll explain clearly in this example. For width function set w, For filling, set fill function, and for precision we are going to use set precision function. Here we have marked, I have highlighted with the pink color, you can just check it out. Set W, set fill, and set precision. These are the output functions. So here formatted output operations. Set W, if you have seen, in this example I have taken x, the value of x is 10, and set W of 10 means here what it will do, it will set excuse me, sorry, it will set 10 character spacing, 10 character width. And set fill function will fill it with hash. Hash is the character I have taken, so whatever the remaining space is there, 10 occupies only 2. The remaining space will be filled with hash character. Then set precision will set the precision of the output. So in this example I have taken one more variable. In this example we have taken one more variable y, float value 10.12345, and set precision of 2 will display a precision of 2 characters, will display a precision of 2, that means 10.12, that you will get in the output. It sets your precision only to 2 digits. Here actually the precision is 5 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After decimal point you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it will take only first 2 digits, because set precision I have given 2, so it will round up to 2 digits after decimal point. So here set W, what it is doing, after giving 10, after giving 8 spaces, then 1 0 is printed. Then set fill, when I am using, first hash is repeated for 8 times, then 1 0. That is the blank space, instead of giving the blank space, it is filled with hash symbol. Then set precision is used to set the precision, number of digits in the precision, how many digits you want to display in the precision. So that is given by set precision. So these are formatted input output operations. Now let us come to file handling. So like for input output we have iStream, OStream and IOStream classes. Likewise for files also we have, for output stream, for writing data into the files we have OF stream, output file stream. For reading data from the file we have IF stream, that is input file stream. And for to perform both read write operation on the files we have a class called F stream. F stream is file stream. So here also for writing data into the files we can use stream classes, F stream, IF stream and OF stream. So here, before writing data, before looking into the file operations, let us see what is a file actually. All of you know that file consists of data. So if you want to write data into the file, that means first read it from the keyboard. If you want to write data into the file, the data should be read from the keyboard, and from the memory it should be written into the file. Then if you want to print the data from the file on the screen, then first read the data, extract the data, that is read the data from the file, then print it on the screen. So here we require for file operations, we require to write some data into the file. First we require data from the file, and then we can use these functions. See, let us see what are the functions we are going to see here. First, to write some data into the file, you have to create an object for OF stream class, that is output file stream class, because this is the class which helps us to write the data into the file. So create an object for OF stream class, that here if you have seen it, I have highlighted with the pink color. The object name is my file. My file is the object name, and here OF stream is the class name, and here file name.txt is the name of the file which I have to open. First, without opening the file, I can't write anything into the file. So to create and open the file, we have to create the my file object. That is you can take any name. I have taken here my file. So by using this my file object, I have opened the file with the name file name, which is a text file. So here, after creating an object for OFStream class, now write the data into the file. So here the name of the object is my file. Then I have used extraction operator. That is the output operator. I think you know what is extraction operator. So double less than that I have used and given the text. So whatever the text here I have given will be entered into the file. The text here I have given is, files can be tricky, but it is fun enough that whatever the text I have given, it will be entered into the created file name. Now after writing data into the file, you can close the file by using myfile.close. This is creating a file and writing data into the file. Now let us see how to read data from the file. For reading the data from the file, you need ifstream class or fstream class. ifstream is input stream class, or fstream because why fstream means it has both input file stream and output file stream operations. Fstream class can perform both input file stream as well as output file stream operations. So by using ifstream or fstream, create an object. So here, if you have seen, I have created an object called my read file. I have highlighted with the pink color. You can see it. My read file. That is the name of the file. That is the name of the object of ifstream class. Now I have opened the file here. So already in the previous example, we have created the file. Now that file I have opened here, and I am reading that data from the file and printing it on the screen. So to read the data from the file, I am using getLine method. GetLine method and object name comma whatever the string I have created there. So my read file object, what it will do, it will read the data from the, by using getLine method, it will read the data from the file, and then it what it will do, it will put it in my text string. So in that my text string, that I have the data read from the file. Now that I am printing by using cout statement. Cout is the output stream statement. So that output is printed on the screen by using cout statement. After reading the data and printing it, I am closing the file. So my read file dot close. So whenever we are going to do file operations, first create an object either for iStream, ifstream or OFStream or fstream, depending on our purpose. If I am going to write the data into the file, I will go for OFStream. If I am going to read the data into the file, I am going for ifstream. After creating the file object, then perform the whatever you want, either to read or to write data into the file. Perform the action and close the file by using close function. So this is reading a file, reading from a file. Okay, so this is a basic file operations, girls. In the next session, with this we have completed third unit, C++ streams, with the C++ streams. Now in the next session, I am going to start exception handling. Thank you.